And hello to all my Cancer friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for November 2022. Now today they've dialed up for you guys a storyline spread, casts a very wide net across the entire sign of Cancer. It's like a scatter shot across the entire sign. It allows me to be very accurate because it's like a bunch of mini readings all in one. And it's a very specific one this month because they want to focus on work. This is going to be a storyline spread that is all about work, business, enterprise, and area of study, collegiate courses, retirement, entrepreneurship, all that kind of stuff. For most people, the JOB. But all those things can fall into the work corner place. It's a very big corner. So they want to focus on that for November. So there's something in there they do not want you to miss, to the point where they're going to do a whole spread on it. So it allows me to be very accurate. We're looking for one story here. There may be a couple that do resonate with you, and that's okay if they do. But at the end of the day, we're just looking for one that is all about you, and we're going to find it. They've asked that I conclude your reading at the end with a yes or no spread. So I need to tell you about that right now because this is something you can take part in, but you got to start thinking about it right now. The way this works is you ask your yes or no question right now, think it out to the air. You can verbalize it if you'd like to say it out loud. It doesn't matter, Spirit doesn't care. They're going to answer your question, or at least try to answer as many as they can by the end of your reading in context. Not only in the spread itself, but in the yes or no spread separately at the end of your reading. There's a lot of great Cancers tuning in, so it's going to be a very hard thing to do, but they're going to try their best to do that. And the power of quantum allows this to be possible because Spirit resides outside of time. And with quantum, everything happens at once. Everything is happening at the same time. It's the here and the now. So the fact that I recorded this before you answered, before you thought your question, before you asked it, doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. And I'm just happy to be able to partake in the magical process of that. So we're going to get started right now. And the runestone. Got to end your reading with the runestone, which is always a bunch of fun. In fact, give them a little swirl around so they're ready to go when we get there. And we're ready to go, guys. So I'm going to bring you in right now so you can watch. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're ready to have a great November. And I like to share my table with you, which is why I'm bringing you in right here, right now. There we go. We are on. So that you can see what's going on and how I do what I do and why I do it. And it's just fun to look at the pictures. Let's, be honest about it. So here we go. We're cutting them into 3 pieces, putting them back together in a separate order that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. Same procedure for personal private reading, so it's just like you're here with me now. Now the storyline spread. This is all about work, like I said, but we're going to set it up the same way I always do, which is 5 base cards. I expand it out from there where I need to, but these are the main things that I need you to see. And we're going to continue from this. We're going to need more cards on this, but this is the first group. So let's see. Okay, that's my end right there. And you can tell that because this woman, even though being upside down, is facing my left. So we have a little bracket that closes me off and says, hey, Scott, we are done here. You're good to go. Now we need to get the pairings together. We have 2 blocked here, 3. Good distribution, half and half. That'll be left alone for now. Now the pairings, as far as what goes with what. Going this way, going this way. Okay, everybody's facing right for the most part. That way. We're looking at, it is connected. Okay, so that's going to be one story. So we're looking at 3 stories, guys. 3 stories for work. It's going to look like this. I knew that was connected by the suit of cups. We have double cups here. So here we go. Make sure that's in view for you. It looks good here. All right, so 2 pip cards here. Just going to require 1 extra card. This is a major. It's going to get 2 cards. This is where the table gets full. I will move it around just to make sure you can see everything nice and clear. That story's completely blocked. We'll check that out in a second. Coming over here, trying to get it in view so you can see it at least off the bat. Like I said, I'll move it around. Good. Got to do a discard here to see if that's going to be red completely blocked or if we're going to upright it and they want it left alone. So we're going to leave that just the way that it is. And the distribution here is 2/3. That's that borderline. I'm actually going to base that on what happens with the Angel Oracle card first, which is straight. So we'll leave that alone. And then down here, Angel Oracle card. Then it's a matter of letting you see it, getting it all in view for you. So here we go. Story 1 is going to be right in front of you to the left of my hand and arm there. That's story 1. Story 2 is going to be up here, all about work. And then story 3 down at the very bottom, angle up. There we go. This is story 3 right there. So let's get to work. We still got to do your yes or no, runestone. We have a lot to do. Make sure I turn that off. I think so. I think we're ready. Okay, guys. Cancer work, Cancer work. Okay, story number one, the one that they wanted completely blocked. This is delayed for a reason, or maybe they want me to tread a little bit lightly on it here. We do have a lot of great Cancers tuning in here. Story number one, it's the Hanged Man card coming in inverted. This is one of the cards that you actually want inverted. This is a break of delay. So things that have been hung up before with work, with this corner of yours, is starting to break open. It may not fully break open in the month of November, but it is on its way. We got some stagnation that is about to get moving here. Okay, so it's very good movement energy on its way. But the timing is the question. When? Well, this reading is for November. So this is starting to break. Maybe later in the month it's going to break. Maybe December it's going to break. You know, I don't think it's going to break right now, but it's on its way here in story one. So if you're waiting for something with work to get moving here, you've been waiting on something, maybe waiting for a raise, waiting for some money to come in your 401k, something like that. If it's attached to work and it's on a delay, likelihood is you're here with me in story one. They do show Two of Pentacles next. This is a really big imbalance that this is causing you. One of them is work. And usually for most people, the other imbalance is the home and the family life. It's just like you're trying to put your energy between both of these, but it's really just eating you up. Maybe work is requiring too many hours. Maybe it's just draining you. Maybe you hate your job. Maybe, you're just so busy with the family that you have a hard time, doing both. Maybe you have a long drive to work, something like that. So it's an imbalance between two different areas of your life. And of course, they can be different areas too. It could be financial with work, or it could also be more than likely health. Something like with health is actually affecting your work. So it's an imbalance here. And of course, the context of that is huge. Now, they do show that a lot of you are giving too much here, giving too much at work, whether it's giving too much of your energy or your time, your space, maybe for some of you, even finances. Maybe, you don't want to put too much money into work. Don't like that. Reminds me of like those pyramid schemes and stuff like that. If they make you buy a bunch of stuff on the forefront of before you like even start working, or you got to buy the products before you sell them, probably not a good idea. So anyway, the whole energy here is, don't give too much of yourself. You're worth more than that. Don't sell yourself short for sure. That kind of energy. We do have girl energy, female energy coming in here with yin. So this is pink energy, very, very pink. I don't know if they're just kind of targeting more of like my female audience here, or if that, is a factor for somebody. For example, like let's say, you were considering getting a job with this other company, but you're not sure if you should stay where you've been for 5 years, or if you should venture off and do something else. There was this other company that you've been looking at. Well, let's say their logo is pink. This could be an indicator here that, maybe you should look at that other company. The stagnation that's getting shaken up could mean you getting ready to, go apply at this other company. Maybe there's something better there for you. So we have pink. I'm just going to leave it at pink there in story one. Before I get into story two, guys, I want to tell you real quick about the brand new products we launched. The first one is a actual mini audio product. It can be also done as a virtual product too, an actual video conference. And this is based on my most popular query, the most popular thing that I get in my big readings, my 30 and my 60-minute service. Almost every single one, people ask about their deceased loved ones. They want to connect. They want to hear if they're okay or if they've got a message for them. It's just basically holding the telephone out and being, hey, you got something to say? Here's your chance to do it. So the Messages from Heaven is what it's called, and it is now available as a personal product. So if that's the only thing you're looking for, which a lot of people are, now you don't have to buy a whole reading to do it. You don't have to sit down for 30 or 60 minutes just for that. You don't even have to sit down at all. Like I said, it is done as an audio option product. So check that out. There's an entire promo video on it if you want to know more about it, show how it's done with examples with other people. Great stuff there. That'll be in the description on this YouTube link here. It'll also be on my website on the product information, all about that. So check that out, guys. And the new product in the store, the actual spiritual storefront, is getting bigger with one product every single month. And there's going to be t-shirts, sweatshirts, and other garments, other apparel there that is released in November. We're doing 2 different designs, men's and women's, bunch of different color options, bunch of different style options, sweatshirts, hoodies, all that kind of good stuff. Now, this is a third-party service. It's called Bonfire. They do a great job. When I got on contract with them to do that, they do great work. They handle the shipping, so that's all my other products in the store are fulfilled by myself. This is the first thing that I do not do. So make sure you check out their return policy for sizing or something like that. If that's, a worry for you, like let's say, for example, you're between a medium and a large and you're not sure what to buy, check out their return policy. I believe it was very good when I signed on with them, but of course, be thorough. But these two designs are awesome. Great designs. I'm actually popping them up on the screen here so you guys can see them. Head over to the website. Everything is on the website to direct you to that on Bonfire if you want any of those, which also make great gifts. And we're releasing 2 more wonderful spiritual apparel designs in December. So moving into Christmas, we're going to be loaded with a lot of great stuff. And there's the other products at the store too. The store just opened up a few months ago, and we already got wonderful Scott Sagent Sage Soap available in Cactus Sage, Sanctuary Sage, 2 different options. We got the Sunflower Potpourri and the Sunflower Mister now to go along with these great t-shirts and sweatshirt designs. So check that out, guys. That is available right now, right here, right now. Check those both out. Let's get into your story 2. Story 2 for work begins with selling something off. Maybe it's just time to, end this job altogether. Maybe it's time to end this part of the job. Maybe you're putting your time into something else, but something is the energy of being sold here. Maybe it's even, like let's say you have an old car that you used for the company. Maybe you did Uber or something like that. And hey, it's time to sell it. Time to get something out. It's purging energy. It's very much full moon. We'll talk about that momentarily. But they show that this is creating more freedom for you. Not only is it creating more freedom for you with my 8 of Swords inverted, but you can create more with other people here too. There's opportunities to do kind of synchronistic things together. Maybe get a job with your buddy. Maybe do something together, start a business together with somebody else, because we have co-create. So it's 2 entities working together here. In the picture of the card, it's a leopard and an owl. So it's 2 perhaps unlikely people or, entities here that come together to do great things. So, keep that in mind, because that may not be people. That may be businesses, 2 different parts of businesses coming together too. The last thing they show here is for work is that it's really time to be defensive. It's time to really take that high ground and dig in. Okay, so a lot of you are either being attacked by other people or you're in the right. So you need to defend yourself. You need to courageously not bow down. You need to defend yourself and hold that ground, hold that high ground. Also, not the time to be going after it too much. With the exception of the selling, they don't want a whole lot of movement here. They actually want you to kind of just bear it out right now. Stick with the script, something like that. So that's story number 2. Speaking of the moon cycles, which is what I just talked about, that full moon energy that came in there in story 2. Full moon, that's the first thing that happens in November. We have the full moon energy coming in on November the 8th, and that's the best time to get anything out of your life. Yeah, I know we've been talking about work this whole spread, but even if it's not about work, something you just gotta go. Bad habit, you gotta kick a bad habit. Emotional baggage, you just gotta purge it. Let's say you got something that you gotta sell. We just talked about selling. That's why it's full moon energy, guys, because this stuff is much better placed early in November. If you do it other parts of the month, it can be done, but it's just like walking uphill. It's much easier to walk downhill, isn't it? Of course it is. So that's how these moon cycles work. So with that full moon, it doesn't matter what you're getting rid of. Anything can do there. And it doesn't have to be on the 8th either. Just any time toward the beginning is your kind of target there. We have the new moon. That's the best time to bring new stuff into your life. If it's brand new, it's new moon energy. And that happens on November 23rd. So basically the day before Thanksgiving is the target date there. Doesn't have to be on that date. Let's say you're starting a brand new diet. You don't want to do that the day before Thanksgiving. Gosh, that would be terrible. Why would you do that to yourself? So that's something that you'd want to start, maybe the day after, maybe the next Monday after. So that window of opportunity is the end of the month. It doesn't have to be the day before Thanksgiving. Gosh, no. So anyway, anytime toward the end there is really good for bringing in new stuff, and it doesn't have to be about work. It could be bringing in brand new love if you're trying to attract a great partner. That would be the time to either go on dates or really put yourself out there. Starting something new with health, diet, like we already talked about. Something new financial. It doesn't matter what it is. Like I said, the universe doesn't care. And if any of this has confused you at all, I put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. It is a little graphic aid, a little tool to show you how these energies come in and out, and that is free. Always. It is available on my website, scottsagent.com. You go to my videos tab. At the bottom of that page is where that is parked for the November moon cycle. So you can check those out, guys, and align different parts of your life to them just to make things flow a little easier. I was able to sell an old car of mine for more than what I bought it for. Drove it a couple of years and sold it for more than what I bought it for by using the moon cycles. It took me a couple months to do it. Sometimes you got to stick with it, but the results are Wonderful, wonderful, especially when you practice it and you get used to it and you do things over and over and you just kind of set yourself up for success. Also, while you're at the website, guys, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter program. My newsletter people just got hooked up hugely in the month of November. They got free mini readings, all of them. If they requested them, they got them. So I do that a couple times a year for my newsletter people. I take great care of them. I only send one newsletter email every single month. It's just for updates, promo codes. Even when we're not doing free stuff, there's promo codes to save you guys money on great readings, always specials, fun stuff going on at all times. And that's the reason why you also want to follow the Facebook page. The Facebook page, I do giveaways on there as well. So back to that newsletter, you can sign up for that anywhere on the website. It's the bottom of every single page and it's free to do so. So that is a no-brainer. Make sure you take advantage of that and you'll never miss any of those good giveaways ever again. Let's move into your story 3, guys, and we'll get into your yes or no. Story 3, we do talk about leaving something behind and not looking back. That is a powerful start, guys. So some of you are leaving jobs or leaving aspects of work or businesses, enterprise, or study stuff. Like for some of you, it's college, leaving college behind, not looking back. Even something here that has an emotional pull to you. So this is something that is not necessarily easy for you to leave behind, but you're doing it and you're purging it out and you're leaving it behind you. More than likely something with work. Now they do show action. That is the indicator, and that is also something that a lot of you are doing. So a lot of you are actually taking action to get a job you really like, a job you really love, something close to your heart that you would actually enjoy, something that feels less like a job, and that's wonderful to see. They want you to avoid bad credit here, so don't put yourself in too much debt to do so. Keep in mind, you might want to line up a new job before you leave an old one or something like that. That's the vibe here. So bad credit could also be, taking high interest loans out, credit cards, all that kind of stuff. You want to try to avoid that as much as possible. It is coming up as a theme for story 3, so that is really the only kind of booger bear that they want you to avoid. Now, they do also talk about slow things down a little bit. This doesn't have to happen all at once. This can happen in phases. This can happen in sections. You can trust your intuition here and not feel rushed versus, what other people tell you. They might be saying, hey, you need to leave this job now, or hey, you need to go apply for this job now. You got to use your own timing and your own knowledge, your own intuition, your gut feeling. Trust your gut. So much to be said about trusting your gut. But they bring in deep knowing, so they're basically saying everything that is already going to go on here. So trust yourself. Trust yourself with the timing and don't feel like you have to rush. You definitely do not. We have the slow energy. So even if that is not describing what is occurring, that is the advice. So that's what we have there for story 3, guys. Now let's do your runestone. Cancer runestone for the month of November. They're already kind of mixed up. Do one more little swirl around. And here we go. It's going to be this guy right here, Cancer. This is the runestone for separation. So they're trying to create space here between you and something. For example, in story number 1, the separation could be between you giving too much of yourself, waiting for this hang up to break, to get moving again. So you're creating separation. It's basically saying this hang up is creating the space for you to get moving here. The separation for story number 2, separation with getting rid of an old object, the selling object, and getting more freedom from that's certainly separating you, maybe separating you from debt, especially if you're getting money from this financial push here. Separation from leaving work too. Separating could be another way in story 2, if you're there, for them to be saying here, maybe take a leave of absence before leaving altogether. Maybe let things play out a little bit here, something like that, where they talked about the defensive position and separation. Story number 3, separation, could very much be about the leaving something behind altogether. I mean, there's nothing more separating than that. That's like full separation here. And, the action moving forward, avoiding the bad credit, slowing down a little bit. So the separation can occur in story 3 at smaller increments. It's going to be a huge separation, but like we talked about, it doesn't have to happen all at once, so you don't have to overwhelm yourself with it. You can also be a little bit methodical with it and make sure that you're making the best decisions possible. So separation is the runestone. Very good one for my Cancer friends. Now let's get into your yes or no. I did use a lot of cards. I'm going to reshuffle them just to be as accurate as I possibly can be for you guys. So I'm going to cut away while I do that, and then I'll be right back with your yes or no. Hope you've thought of that. Okay, Cancer, I am back with your yes or no. The cards have been reshuffled. Gonna ritual cut it one more time because we always do that. Satisfies that part of the process, and then we're ready to go with your yes or no. Hope you've thought of that. So here we go. Spirit's got a tough job to do because we have a lot of great Cancers tuning in. Over here is my yes side. completely upright. Over here is my no side. Almost completely upright too. Very clear read, guys. Need some more cards. Okay. Actually need a lot more cards. Those are going to be good. Much chattier yes side, which I've noticed usually occurs here with these spreads. Keep in mind that if your question is not answered here, I offer this as a personal product too. It is called the yes or no. Same name frame, same name. They share the same title, and your question will get answered there because Spirit is being directed there versus the bubble energy that we're working with here. So we're going to do the no side first just because there's simpler themes there. So if you talked about something getting worked out between work and home, or something with health or finances and these corners of your life kind of getting more balanced here, getting worked out maybe soon, Spirit would be saying no, this is going to take more time. This is going to take more time to get this stuff balanced. Maybe it's a financial change between finance and work, or finances and the family life. Maybe this is just a process. Of course, inflation's high. Gas ain't cheap, etc. The next thing they show here on the no side is something brand new. So I've seen this come up a lot for like a new house. If you've asked about like a new home in a certain time frame, Spirit may be saying no. Not necessarily no ever, but no, not right now. Keep in mind that we didn't ask about time here. So these are just kind of ballpark snapshot answers. But the other thing that this can be is like something new with health. If you ask a question about like starting a new diet, like should I start a new diet right now? The answer would be no. Maybe you have other priorities right now, or maybe it wouldn't work for you, something like that. Or start a new, exercise program, something like that. Coming up in the no side. So something brand new. I'm looking at if I have any other aces. So if you ask about something brand new that's physical, to the touch real, like something like that would be, more than likely the answer is no, or no, not right now. If you asked a question about big money coming in, either to like a divorce type thing, or just sharing between two people, or maybe you even asked in a simpler form like, hey, are me and my husband going to win the lottery? Get our big money here. The answer is no. Sorry to break it to you. The big money is not here right now, Cancer. If you asked about big money between two people or two entities, maybe it's selling one entity to move to another entity or something like that, because the Two of Cups isn't always people. It's two things. So big money is basically saying no, not right now, at least not November, guys. Let's move to the yes side. The yes side, like I said, Chad, here we have a messenger coming in for work. If you asked a work question, the decision needs to be made early. So especially if this is work stuff, we're leaving work, purging, getting rid of projects, something like that. The decision needs to be made earlier in the month if you can. Basically full moon type stuff. This could also be a correspondence letting you know that the workplace has made a major decision too. Maybe this is less about you and more about them. So major decision being made there. If you asked a question for that, they'd be saying yes. If you ask a question about taking care of others, or leading your family, or doing things the right way, getting rid of toxicity, all that kind of stuff, they would be saying yes here. Especially if this is very much getting straight. It makes me feel like getting rid of drinking. So yes, you can absolutely like purge this diet or this habit, something like that. Get more healthy, get less toxic. It can be done. It's just going to be a hard uphill battle. It's going to be a war. You got to win battle by battle. You're not going to win every single battle. This is going to be a tough one for you, but it can be done. The big part is winning the war, and they want you to imagine what it's like when you get there. So that's the motivation. Imagine, picture all this great stuff in your life once you get it straightened out. The last thing they show for the yes side, if you ask a question about nurturing work and getting to the golden, wonderful place for work, they're saying yes. Now that probably goes back to our last spread because that whole thing was about work. And I know we had a lot of work stuff in here that also said yes. So really a lot of the finance stuff was no. A lot of the work stuff was yes. If you asked a question about love, more than likely it's just not here. It's just not what they wanted to talk about right now. We have pretty much every other corner covered. We have some health, we have some work, and we have some finance stuff in here. Not so much about love, though. So if you have a love question, you have to ask that directly. But that is the entire reading, guys. I know it's been a long one. Thank you so much for tuning in and sticking with me. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. Have a great November. Happy Thanksgiving.